Hello.
Okay, so I will start the session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, Dr. B. Arul Senthil. Good evening to the participants. We are watching this live session. Welcome to today's session on why emotional intelligence matters. We are gathered here to explore the profound impact that emotional intelligence has on our personal and professional lives. In a world that is increasingly interconnected and fast-paced, emotional intelligence has emerged as a crucial skill that can greatly influence our success, relationships, and overall well-being. Emotional intelligence, often referred to as EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and express our emotions effectively. It also involves being attuned to the emotions of others and responding to them empathetically. While traditional intelligence or IQ remains important, research has shown that emotional intelligence plays an equally significant role, if not more, in determining one's achievements and happiness. During our session today, we will delve into the various aspects of emotional intelligence and explore how it impacts different area of our lives. We will examine how a high EQ can improve communication, enhance leadership capabilities, strengthen interpersonal relationships, and foster a positive work environment. Moreover, we will discuss practical strategies and techniques that can help us develop and cultivate emotional intelligence in ourselves and others. Before we start Dr. B. Arul Senthil's session, I would like to give some short introduction about him. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure and excitement that I introduced our esteemed guest speaker for today's session, Dr. B. Arul Senthil. Dr. Arul is an exceptional individual with a wealth of knowledge and experience in the field of business administration. His impressive academic background includes a PhD in business administration from Bharathidasan Institute of Management, as well as an MPhil and MBA from Bishop Heber College. With over 9 years of teaching and research experience, Dr. Arul has honed his expertise and established himself as a distinguished authority in his field. He has further enriched his understanding through various training programs, including T Group from IES, ABS, NLP, and GRC, and appreciative inquiry, demonstrating his commitment to continuous learning and professional growth. Dr. Arul's contributions to the academic community are truly noteworthy. He has authored several research papers, including one published in a prestigious B category listed journal in ABDC. Additionally, he has shared his insights and expertise by presenting papers at national and international conferences. Beyond his academic achievements, Dr. Arul has actively engaged in administrative roles, serving as a member of the Board of Studies for the Department of Business Administration and Bishop Geber College. He has also been a panelist for the Incubate Selection Program at the National Institute of Technology, Tiruchi, showcasing his dedication to nurturing and supporting entrepreneurial ventures. At the end, I would like to introduce to the motto of Dr. B. Arul Senthil. We can still appreciate the significance of having one in shaping an individual's approach to life and their contributions to society. I would like to hand over the session to Dr. B. Arul Senthil, and also thanks a lot for joining us today, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for this nice introduction. Uh, I consider this crowd would be the mixed crowd, which means students, corporate executives, as well as the people who are interested in to learn the emotional intelligence. So the topic today, which we are going to discuss about why emotional intelligence matters. This is a topic is very familiar in recent days. I can say Daniel Goldman as an author who has worked a lot on this space and he made this topic very familiar. Moving forward, let me start with this Tirukural. It's Kural number 27. It says that சுவை ஒளி ஊறு ஓசை நாற்றமென ஐந்தின் வகை தெரிவான் கட்டே உலகு, which literally means that an individual who has To know about how to control of all these five senses, the person can achieve better. The person can conquer the world. That is the meaning of this Quran. This is very relevant to the topic which we are going to discuss today, because emotion intelligence, normally we hear there are different set of intelligence like social intelligence, or normally people say that is IQ, but in today's world EQ also matters a lot. So that in corporate world today there is a high importance has been given to emotional quotient, not only the IQ, because we need both. I'm not saying only emotion intelligence is required. I'm not saying only IQ is required. We need both, as well as you need to know more about the social skill. So there is a person. His name is Martin. He was the he is the psychologist and former president of American Psychology Association. He has termed PERMA, which is P means it's positive emotions, E means it's engagement, and R means relationships, M means meaning, and A is accomplishment. I'll explain one by one. See, we all know that humans are driven by our own emotions. We have emotions, we have thoughts, we have feelings, we have moods. Many times we misuse the words. For example, sometimes we refer a feeling, but actually there is an emotion. Sometimes we say that is emotion, but actually it would be a mood. So we interchange the words, but we all know that when we say emotion, it has positive as well as negative. We might have experienced in all our life when we are joy, we say there is an emotion. When we are sad, we say there is an emotion. So as a human, we need to always try to engage ourselves or experience ourselves in a positive emotion. For that, we should have a positive thoughts, because the way we think, the way we feel. So these emotions actually driving our life. So if it is positive, means the outcome would be positive. So how to make ourselves to be happy? Because in today's research across the globe, it says that if an employee is happy, they are performing better. Because then, what makes to happy? What we really like to do, that makes us to be joyful, and we engage more. So the positive emotion is very important factor in our life. The second is engagement. This is very very important. Normally, in the adolescent age, people isolate themselves for good reason. Sometimes it would be a bad reason. So, if we are lacking in the engagement, actually, when we feel lonely, we are not performing well. There is other research is saying the people who are uh, not happy at workplace are mostly people who are doing the job in a lonely manner. So this engagement with the job, engagement ourselves. Like today, people are saying that in the morning you should do an exercise, and you should be take care of some of the you take part of some of the yoga sessions, or you take part of cycling, meditation or walking, jogging, whatever it is, as well as reading good books, hearing good music. So it makes you to feel energized rest of your work, I'm saying. So this engagement actually is driving force for us to do good things and makes ourselves fit both physically and mentally. This is very very important. So the first term positive emotion, second term is engagement, and third term is relationship. We all hear in today's world like relationship is a good thing. Unfortunately, it becomes dirt in today's world in many of the marriage life. We all experienced, if you have a good relationship, you will feel happy, and you start enjoying your life. When you end up with the bad relationship, definitely it will impact other works too. So we had this kind of emotion, these kind of experiences with our friends or with our colleagues, or with sometimes with our spouse. So there is a chance, but when you have a good relationship, actually it helps you to do greater jobs in all aspects. So that is also we need to take care of. And meaning in the sense, whatever the job we are doing or whatever the things we are doing, we should always look beyond our own satisfaction, what we really looking for. So I'm teaching subjects to the MBA students. Right now I'm taking class to you all. I'm just sharing my knowledge, a small amount of knowledge what I have acquired in the topic name called emotional intelligence, so that I'm sharing with you. So what is the meaning for the job what I'm doing is actually I'm just trying to able to reach few numbers of people, maybe 20 or 30 people or more than that. I feel like I'm contributing something. It is not only for me, I'm sharing the knowledge to others. So there is a meaning of what I'm doing at present. Likewise, everyone has their own meaning. If you could not find to able to identify what is your meaning of doing any job, what you're doing in a day-to-day life, you please find that. And accomplishment. See, once you have done something, you feel something great when you accomplish something. For example, you have set in a target to achieve some, let's say if you set in a business target, you could be able to achieve, you feel you are accomplished. So that time you feel joy, right? So we need to, that's how the great leaders has lived. You take Nelson Mandela, who has been into jail for more than 28 years for a purpose. You take Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, apart from his retirement, apart from his service to the country after retirement, he engaged with the students community till his life death, right? So there is some purpose they are finding it. So likewise, each human being has to have some purpose that actually gives the energy. So that's what Martin says, we should highly practice these five. You should be always positive. So for that, you should have good thoughts that will give and that will make you to feel happy, and it ends up with the positive emotion. That is number one. The second is engagement. Third is relationship. Fourth is good meaning in your life, and fifth is accomplishment. So he has termed, and it is well worth to practice it in our life. So, likewise, just to understand more about the journey of life, right? Because I say, when humans are very happy, they are at the best. And you may think about what is the connection between happiness and emotional intelligence. It is, we are moving towards that, towards the emotional intelligence definition. But when we are aware that what we really know, when we are aware that what set of feelings I'm going through, the self awareness actually makes our life better. So when we are happy and we can talk with others well and we can perform well. So that's why I'm trying to connect with this term called emotional intelligence and happiness. So you just read out here what Jennifer Moss says. We sometimes tend to see being happy as an end goal, but we forget that whatever really matters is the journey. Find out what makes us the happiest and regularly engaging in those activities to help us lead a more fulfilling life. So that's what I think the line I'm sorry, Mr. MS Dhoni says that in today's young generation, people are looking only the outcome. They're not enjoying actually the journey, because that journey only makes you to feel happy. It gives you the knowledge. It gives you the skills. So you should always focus on the process, not only the outcome. So likewise, is we as a human being has to understand the journey better, and we need to form our journey and what we really looking and what we really enjoying that we need to do. That is normally the battle would be there, right? So what my mind says, should I follow that, or what my heart says, should I follow that? So literally you need to find the combination. Nobody is there to guide you properly. But if you are not loving to do something, if you are start pursuing that as a career, I don't think so you can end up with a great professionalist, because you're not loving what you're doing, right? Assume that I'm a teacher. If I'm not enjoying my profession, do you think I can be succeeded in this profession? Do you think that I can contribute to my students community? Certainly not, right? Because every day at least I need to read 20, 30 pages to acquire knowledge so that I can transform my that knowledge to my students, right? So this is the kind of job. Likewise, each profession, it has its own ways of acquiring the knowledge. But if you're not enjoying the process, if you're not loving the journey, I'm not very sure that you can be successful. So try to understand what you're really doing, and that gives you the happiness or not. I know the crowd is mixed crowd, as I said. So please, if you are a student, please understand what you are really looking for your life. You want to make as your career. For example, if you are a working professional, please understand what you are doing. Is it gives happiness to you? No, sir, I'm just doing just for just for pursuing some job to make money. Fine, but you will find, definitely you will find something, it makes you to give happiness, right? So please find it. It is not good for the company alone. It is good for you because you can perform better in future. And this is the emotion cycle. And in the central core part, if you see, it's there is a angry, there is a sad, happiness, disgusted, like fearful, bad, surprised. And the circle goes, another circle, bigger circle is there, and the bigger circle is there. There are many terminologies are being there. For example, if you take happy, accepted, and so that you can feel valued or you can feel respected. Likewise, if you take if you take as angry as as a terminology, there you can find there is a word called mad, and it has furious and jealous. So the cycle is very big. We have different sets of emotions, and engaging with our day-to-day life. This is not something something theoretical. I'm saying this is very much application oriented, because we are practicing in our day-to-day life. If you are just met in a small accident, at the time how you are reacting to the situation actually determines, it depends upon your emotion stability. And you can see in the road sometimes, for the small reason, they will take a number of they will engaging more, they will take much time. You feel that it is not necessary, rather we can concentrate on our work. This all will happen, but just because each individuals are different, and each individuals has different emotional level. So if a person is good in emotional intelligence, the person can, I can say they can identify what is required and they can move on. They can, understand the situation very faster and they can move on, rather than being angry, and they can try to regulate themselves and they will move to that situation, for their favorable situation. So try to understand this, wheel, and you can find it in the internet, or later on you can find it the same video in the YouTube. And I'm just asking you, these are the questions. I wish you need to understand this question. I wish you need to reflect of these questions, because each one has different answer. Are you able to understand your own emotions? Are you able to control your emotions? Are you able to gauge how others people feel? Are you able to measure how other people feel? Are you open to other people's feeling? So these are the questions you please ask yourself, because as I said, different people have different answers. Are you able to understand your own emotions? If me yes means, please look into it. Are you able to control your emotions when you're angry, when you're more joy? That's what normally people say, that when you're happy, you're very excited, you should not take decisions. Likewise, when you are angry, you should not talk much. Why? Because both are extreme and it will definitely end up with the wrong decision. So, are you able to measure how other people feel? And for that, you should be mastering it. Are you open to other people feeling? Sometimes we understand people. For that, we need to have a good empathy. Then only we understand people better, right? So these are the questions I'm leaving to you. You please take your time and you do this exercise. And at the end of the presentation, uh, uh, I'm having some certain set of questions for you. You please understand the questions, answer it. I recommend you all to have a paper and pen, and then you can work on that. So now, what is actually emotional intelligence or EI? You just try to understand the definition is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and those of people around you. People with a high degree of emotional intelligence know what they are feeling, what their emotion means, and how these emotions can affect other people. Now you tell me, do you think still this quality is required only to the leaders? Do you think still you think that it is required only to the teachers? Do you think it is required only to the bank managers? Do you think it is required to the politician? Do you think it is required to the artist? Do you think it is required to the parenting? I can say for all individuals it is highly required. Am I right? Because when we are understanding our own emotions, our own feelings, because based on that we are going to respond. I have given already the example. It would be a small thing, but how you respond to the situation actually determines about your ability. That's why people who have high IQ are unfortunately very lack in this emotional quotient. I'm not generalizing the statement what I'm saying, but there is a high chance. So, do you think is it possible to improvise? Yes, it is possible to improvise. It has some techniques. You can, you just understand. You just improve yourself to understand yourself better and doing yoga, meditation, and very aware about what you're saying and what you're hearing. Actually, it helps you to improvise your emotional intelligence. So I'll just repeat: EI is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and those of people around you. I can simply put it in this way: ability to recognize our own emotions and understand the emotions of others in a simple way. So that when you start recognizing your own emotions, most of the times people find difficulty to utter what they're actually going through. Sometimes they could not be able to explain what set of emotions or what set of feelings they're going through. They will normally use their head and they will say it is actually comes under the thinking. But all humans have the emotions, so it is very challenging. So especially the students crowd, we need to teach this. That's why in today's curriculum, not only in the MBA curriculum, I can say in all other social sciences subjects, this subject is highly recommended. So people with the high degree of emotional intelligence know what they are feeling, what their emotion means, and how this emotion can affect them. Okay, I hope you understand better. Moving forward, I have already introduced the person name called Daniel Goleman. Actually, he is a person who has, I can't say he's the man who has coined this term called the emotional intelligence, but he is the person who familiarized this topic. He has written the book in 1995, the book name called Emotional Intelligence. Later on, the topic became very popular, and last almost 20 years, this topic is dominating. And but there are researchers like Mayers and other few researchers who has done initially, try to understand what is emotional intelligence, but As I said, Daniel Goldman made this topic very familiar. So this actually what I'm talking is very known concept, but I think this must be addressed. So I already given a glimpse of what is awareness, and I also use the word called regulation, but I never use the word called motivation. But I use the word called empathy. I use the word called social skill. So when what Daniel Goldman is saying, the emotional intelligence are the five key elements. These are the five key elements. That is self-awareness, self-regulations, motivation, empathy, and social skill. We will see one by one. The more that you as a leader manage each of these areas, the higher your emotional intelligence is. You all agree that today, if a person is having a social skill, the person can find better opportunities. You all agree with me. So let's look at each element in one detail and how we can grow as a leader. Because I feel leadership is not only some designation or a country head or a department head. Each individuals are leading one or other aspect. If you're a spouse, you have to lead sometime, right? If you're a teacher, you have to lead sometime with your students. They are they are seeking your guidance, they are seeking your direction. So individually all are leaders in one way. So we need to be master in these aspects, that is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill. So first, self-awareness. So what will happen if you are if you are aware very well? You always know how you feel, and you know how your emotions and how your actions can affect the people around you. You can connect with the leadership now. Assume that you are leading a team, and you are having 20 people with you, and you need every day you need to talk to them, you need to get things done from them. If you are not able to understand your own emotions, what sort of ways you respond to your own employees and how they find connected with you, right? Because it is important, right? They will respect the leadership. But if you're not providing that properly, and they think that the person is not understanding the situation better, unfortunately it goes wrong, right? So this is very important. So a leader or a manager or any person who is heading the team should be good in this to try to first understand himself or herself better. Then only it is possible to understand the others people emotions. That will comes in the empathy. So being self-aware when you are in a leadership position always means have a clear picture of your strength and weakness. It means behaving with humility. That is self-awareness. You just try to understand, you try to recognize your own emotions, and you know that, right? I'm not comfortable, or I'm angry now. I should not express my words very much. So you know it very well. So if you know it very well, definitely I can say you know the strength of yours and weakness of yours. Actually, that helps you to be a good leader. Second point, that is self-regulation. Leader who regulate themselves effectively, you know, rarely verbally attacking others, making rushed or emotional decisions, like stereotyping people or compromise their values. So self-regulation is all about staying in control. There is other term called suppression. When you suppress yourself, sometime it will burst. That's what happening in the society. Most of the time, uh, even parents you take, they try to suppress their children wish, suppress their children's feelings and emotions. One day it will burst. So that's what comes in the negative consequences, right? So there is a difference between self-regulation and suppression. When you suppress, definitely one day it will burst. It is not good for health. If you keep on suppressing your own emotions, believe me, it will create knot in your body that impacts your health completely. But then what way you can regulate? For that, it needs a practice. What practice is required? You understand. When you are aware, definitely you know this I need to say, this I should not say. Likewise, when you know when to express, when not to express, and you should know how to deal with it, right? So, controlling one or other way, you should know how to practice it very well. So, suppression, it leads to the negative consequences, and self regulation. You understand it well, you are very conscious about it, but still you know how to manage it. That is self regulation. The third is motivation. And this, this word is very popular. And when we hear the video songs, or when you hear the, motivational talk, or when you're finding some person, in your street regularly doing exercise or running, that time you feel energized. I also wants to do something like this, but there is a discipline, there is a consistency. So that kind of, because that comes in the extrinsic motivation that we call. But when it comes inner side, you decided that I need to do this. You decided that these are the things I need to practice in a day-to-day manner. These are the things, if I do, that would be helpful for my life. And you don't look at this. You are doing for yourself. That motivation actually stays along. So self-motivated leaders work consistently towards that goal. That's what I said. They are very clear what they want to do in life. So you can see the connection. If there is a good self-awareness, there is a chances of having good regulation. And actually, if you are knowing yourself very better, there is a possibility you can, list down what are the things you want to do in life, and that gives the motivation, that gives the energy. That's what I call as an intrinsic motivation. And they have extreme high standard for the quality of their job. That is there, right? Because they are very focused. They really know what they really want to do in that job. So they expect high standards from the team. Unfortunately, the team will not understand. That is a different subject altogether. But an individual, if the person is having a self motivation, the person can always do better. The fourth, that is empathy. For leaders, having empathy is critical to manage a successful team or organization. Because normally, what is empathy? When we say we should feel from others' shoes, then only we know what they're going through, right? Some situation. But if you are very poor in empathy, what will happen? People say you are arrogant. People say the person will not understand the situation better. The people never understand what the other person is going through. All sort of things. That is also a negative term, right? So leaders should have this empathy skill so that they can understand the team better. They can understand what really they are looking, and based on that, you can do something with your authority. So this is, I know, this has to be taken in a very serious note, because unless if you you are not practicing this, you cannot be a good leader. Okay, so please understand this. So empathy is very very critical, and because if you give too much, I can say importance, or you think that you are understanding much better of your team, if they take it in the negative side, and again it would become issue. So you know the line it very well. You know that what is true incident, and you know that what is needs to be entertained. That you should know. Then only it works. Otherwise, people make use of this kind of soft corner. So empathy, in a simple way, I can say you need to really understand other person's emotion in a most sensible way, at the same time in a right way. The last one is social skill, and I said that this is very very important, because you can be a profession of HR can be a profession of, you can be an engineer, or you can be a doctor, or you can be a housewife, or you can be a scientist or politician, whatever it is. If you fail to have to engage with people, it is very difficult in today's world, right? So when we say the social skill, communication actually plays a role. So leaders who do well in social skills are greater communicators, because social skills, it's one of the components in emotional intelligence, right? So they can talk better, they can reach people in a better way. So leaders who have good social skills are also good at managing change and resolving conflict, in a diplomatic way. So this is all required for any set of leaders, right? A person is acting as the, head of the DRDO, or any department, or any company, irrespective of different domains. The person needs to know how to get things done from others. Others also should feel like he or she is my leader, so they should respect the leadership, right? Then only things will work. That's why we highly regarded JRD Tata, or highly regarded Dr. Abdul Kalam or Narayana Murthy. They have that emotional touch. At the same time, they know how to get things done in a better way. That is a balance that we need to practice. So just a small exercise hereafter. I will, that's how I designed the talk, and I just introduced, what is emotional intelligence, what is happiness, and the PERMA concepts and all. This hereafter, audience, you have to exercise this, right? If you have any questions, you can ask me, and try to understand, because see, when we want to improve ourselves, actually the introspection is highly required, and we should really know about ourselves better. These are the two ways. Let's say if I am saying that I need to improve this, assume that I am saying that I'm poor in reading. I need to know that somebody should not say. They may give a triggering point to you, but to you, when you start reading, so just for a small activity, I'll just read out what has been there. Before you can make changes in yourself, have to know what there is to work with. Becoming self-aware is about the process of understanding yourself. We all have strength and limitations. Self-awareness can be developed, and identify your own strength and weakness can help with this development. Spend some time recognizing areas you need to develop, and intentionally make an effort to develop or strengthen that aspect of yourself. So choose three strengths for yourself, and then three you would like to improve on. If you don't see a trait listed here, feel free to write on your own. Nothing wrong. Don't find only the words, only what is here. If you find that something you want to achieve, you please write down. Nothing wrong in it. Once you have chosen trait that needs improvising, think about and describe about how you will attempt to improve those traits. That's what I said. It's exercise. Every individual has their own. For example, I can give happiness is my strength, or else I can say that I want to improve to be more humble, or I can say I need to be improve more patient, something like that. So you please understand about what you really feel like you are good in that, and what you really want to improve. Please list down, take your time, and you please do this. Okay, and I'm leaving to you. You please have a look in this, and please do it. You can do it now, or you can do it later. Okay, that's up to you. But try to understand this, because when we start realizing that we want to improve something, that time only the progress starts, right? So you have taken a first attempt that you want to, do something. So you decided to learn something about emotional intelligence. So that you all being here, either connected with this, the link which the organizers are given, or joined in YouTube, I don't know. But you have taken the step. Now it is an action. Okay, so do this exercise. And now again, it's a tool. about the self-assessment of your own emotions, right? I'll just explain the questions and I'll give you time. You please listen. At the end, you are not going to reveal to anybody. You are just having the scores, what you're going to, what you are really secure. That scores will help you to understand which area you need to improve or which area you're good at. Okay, please rate about for all these questions that call as an item for first item, second item, third item, or fourth item. Likewise, we have set of questions, and you feel like if you are good, for example, I am aware of the physical reactions that signal a gut reaction. You feel like sometime, which means you put three. You feel like always, which means you give five. Okay, so the first is never, second is rarely, third is sometimes, fourth is usually, fifth is always, right? So the first question is, I'm aware of physical reactions that signal a gut reaction. Please mark yourself. I hope you understand the question. I'm aware of my physical reactions, that is any pain or ache, that signals a gut reaction. The second question, I readily admit mistakes and apologize. This difference definitely difference from person to person, right? Sometimes they never apologize. They have this, attitude that no, even though they have, they made a mistake, they never apologize. That is actually is wrong, right? So likewise, I don't want to give much more, elaboration of these questions. But one thing, don't take much of time. Don't regulate yourself. Please, what you feel like you are, please give a mark because you are not going to reveal to anybody. This is for yourself to understand about it, right? So I readily admit mistakes and apologize. If you are into the category sometimes means put it sometimes. If you say always I will do this means put five. That's all. Third, when I feel angry, I can still stay composed. It's the most challenging. Many of the people don't have this right because we are at the time we are very furious or very much into the expression mode. It's very difficult to be composed. I can say myself I am very weak in this, so I need to improve. Likewise, you please put yourself. When I feel angry, I can still stay composed. The fourth question is I generally have an accurate idea of how another person perceives me during a particular interaction. I'll repeat. I generally have an accurate idea about how another person, I'm sorry, perceives me during a particular interaction. Please give your response. Okay. The fifth question. In assessing a situation, I look at my biases and adjust my assessment accordingly. In assessing a situation, I look at my biases and adjust my assessment accordingly. Biases means you have your own, against the beliefs or, you have own choices. So in assessing a situation, I look at my own biases and adjust my assessment accordingly. Please mark any one of this. Sixth, I can keep going on a project despite obstacles. Some people are very good in this, right? Whatever happens, they will keep on moving. Sometimes, small incident that actually disturb the entire day. There's a possibility. Right? So if you feel like sometimes mean please put three or five means always. Please give accordingly. The seventh question. I can engage in an interaction with another and pretty well sized up that person mood based on non-verbal signals because you all aware that communication and non-verbal communication is also there. Sometimes some signals make us to feel happy. Sometimes some signals make us to feel bad, right? So I can engage in an interaction with another and pretty well sized up that person's mood based on non-verbal signals. Please go yourself. And the eighth question. Others feel encouraged after talking to me. Some people, you always sometimes not always. Sometimes you feel like if you talk to your mom, you feel energized. Or some people are talking to you to, they are sharing with you so that they feel relaxed, right? This would, I don't need to explain much. You are having this experience. So please score yourself. So moving forward to the ninth question. I consider my emotional temperature before I make important decision. Please score yourself. I consider my emotional temperature before I make important decision. When I feel a strong impulse to do something, I usually pause to reflect and decide whether I really want to act on it. When we say in a marketing, impulsive behavior, people when they enter into the exhibition, what they always want to experience all or always want to buy everything. That's impulsion is there. Likewise, when I feel a strong impulse to do something, I usually pause to reflect and decide whether I really want to act on it. The 11th question. For this, you please mark yourself. I can deal calmly, sensitively, and proactively with the emotional displays of others. I can deal calmly, sensitively, and proactively with the emotional displays of others. So, 12th question. I can identify the emotion I'm feeling at any given moment. I can identify the emotion I'm feeling at any given moment. Score yourself. Right? So, 13th. I'm able to honestly say how I feel without getting others upset. This is a skill, right? I can able to honestly say how I feel without getting others upset. 14th. I can show empathy and match my feelings with those of another person in an interaction. I can show empathy and match my feelings with those of another person in an interaction. When a person is, crying at the time, if you're laughing, means what happened. Okay, so that's the rough question. 15th, I think about the emotion behind my action. I think about my emotions behind my actions. Please. I am respected and liked by others even when they don't agree. I am respected and liked by others even when they don't agree with me. I watch how others react to me to understand which of my own behaviors are effective and which are not. I watch how others react to me to understand which of my own behaviors are effective and which are. Please give us code. Please to be honest to yourself because, as I said, you are not going to share with anybody. I am not going to ask you. It is for yourself. So at the end, you can understand really which criteria you want to improve. 18th, I am good at managing my moods and I refrain from bringing negative emotions to me. Because actually, mood can stay for hour, for half day or full day, for sometimes for 2, 3 days continuously. There is a possibility, right? I'm good at managing my moods and I refrain from bringing negative emotions to work. 19th question. It is easy to understand why other people feel the way they do. It is easy to understand why other people feel the way they do. And 20th. I can effectively persuade. Persuade means convincing others to adopt my point of view without pressurizing them, forcing them. I can effectively persuade others to adapting my point of view without coercing them, which means pressurizing them. Sure, we comes to end now. Now, these are the four different dimensions. That is, one is self awareness, second is self management, third is social awareness, and fourth is relationship management. We have, done for 20 questions, right? The question number one, for example, a person gives one, first question you given three, that is sometimes. Likewise, you might have given to all questions, right? So you please list down. These are the questions comes under self-awareness. That is 1, 5, 9, 12, 15. Likewise, self-management 3, 6, 10, 13, 18. Likewise, respectively, you please put a score. For example, first question you've given 3, fifth question you have given 5, ninth question you have given 2, 12th question you have given 1, 15th question you have given 4. Calculate all the numbers. Likewise for all the four dimensions. I'm giving break. You please do this. Now, now, interpreting your score on these four components of emotional intelligence can range from 5 to high of 25. Some people might have scored even 10 also, or 10, 15 chances are there. Any components where your score is below 18 is the area you can improve. So that's what I said. For example, a person good in self-management, very poor in social awareness. Chances are there, right? So those are the areas you need to improve. So EI is a learnable, as I said, and developmental. Use feedback from others, mentoring with your organization, or friendship, from your friends, and books and seminars to develop in these areas. There is a possibility. This tool I have adapted from the author, which the reference has been given. So all the material what I have used is all completely taken from the internet. I'm not a creator of this. That's why I have given references in some of my slides. So please understand, EA is a tool. EA is a possibility that actually helps us to be more humane, more understanding others, better understanding others, and it helps actually us to be feel energized and so that we can perform better. Thank you. With this, I conclude my presentation. If you find difficulty to understand some of the questions, I strongly recommend to see this video. Hopefully, it will be available in the YouTube and do the exercise again. And the only thing is to be honest yourself. Thank
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the amazing session. And I have some questions from here, sir.
you.
Okay, how can emotional intelligence be effectively measured and assessed in individuals?
Can you repeat it?
How can emotional intelligence be effectively measured and assessed in individuals?
That's what, ma'am, as I have given some of the tools. And, as I already said, it differs from person to person. So take some of these tools and try to understand about where you are. Or you can consult with the people who are good in this and try to understand, because I can't say that just because I have done PhD in emotional intelligence, I can't claim myself that I'm I measured myself in a very highest form. No, there is always a possibility, right? I can be, somehow I learn somehow be better. But there is a gap in it. So we can use these set of tools and try to understand ourselves better. And for practicing, as I said already, I have given like doing exercise, understanding people better. For that, you need to engage with people, and making yourself to be a calm person, and all this way will help, because the clarity of mind will give the highest productivity, right? So that's what my answer is.
Okay, thank you, sir. And in what ways can emotional intelligence impact team dynamics and overall team performance in the workplace?
This is a good question. Uh, we all know, when we say team, it is built on trust. If there is a lack in trust, the team cannot be achieved in each job. And this EI, emotional intelligence, if the person knows that in what way the person can express to his teammates, and the person really understand the other person's strength and weakness, and if the team members know that my rest of the people are there to helping me to overcome my obstacles, definitely the person can be better. For that, each individual should be in some level should be good in this EA, because the words is very powerful, right? The words are very powerful. So if you misuse the word in a team, that will definitely impact. So that's how some of the people are there to really build the team by always saying that in a positive words, and they always approach in a positive way so that everyone can come together. So this EA, if each individual is mastered in it, because you know how to express yourself, you know how to handle the situation. I have already used the word called, you can diplomatically you can handle the situation, right? You can resolve the conflicts. For that, this EA is very important. So for example, if you are a team leader, if you are having that, and you can comparatively it's better if your every members are very good in this, and that team definitely can perform better. So that we all needs to improvise our emotional intelligence.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And how you share specific examples of how leaders with high emotional intelligence have influenced the success of organizations or teams?
Okay, good. I think I have already said, like you can take a Ratan Tata, or can take a GRD, or even you can take Barack Obama from the political side. There are many people who have shown the path, right? And they understand people very well. And at the same time, they are not compromising their standards. And there are leaders who are literally understanding. If you read the subject organizational behavior, and there are many examples, like they all have done this set of questions, which what you have done, and they understand their level better, and they have exercised themselves so that they are very good in this skill, so that they can be a good leader. Definitely, for a good leader, this EI plays a role.
Okay, thank you, sir. What role does emotional intelligence play in conflict resolution and how can it be utilized to de escalate tense situations?
Can you repeat this question?
Yeah, what role does emotional intelligence play in conflict resolution and how can it be utilized to de escalate tense situations?
That's what I said. If a person is good in the emotional quotient, the person is good in handling the situation, conflicting the resolving the conflict, right? So that time the person can manage it well, and the much better way than the others, and the person can give a solution to the particular problem.
Okay, sir. And how can individuals with lower emotional intelligence work on improving their EQ to enhance their personal and professional lives?
For that, I am strongly suggesting the person who feels that he is very lacking emotional quotient, first get the feedback from this, maybe from your friends, from your family, or from your colleague. Try to understand because uh, believe me, definitely you feel somehow, somehow you are not connected with others, or people are not ready to talk to you, or not people are not ready to engage time with you. You might have seen some of the people in your workplace or from your college. Some people are completely isolated, and we could say that they are not happy, and some people are afraid to approach them, right? So first, get the feedback from others and try to list down what you really work, and then start working. And I have given a tool like first thing is you please understand about yourself, and that actually leads. For example, if you are weak in social skill, try to improvise that. Have a conversation, and if you feel afraid to talk to others, some people are there and not ready to talk to the new people, just experiment that. Because when we start experimenting, then only we will learn new things, right? So keep on engage yourself so that you can be a better. As I said, it is a completely, it depends upon you. It is because it's a learnable skill. So you can improvise yourself at any level. So it is not only the low level. People feel that, sir, sometimes I'm into, I knew that I should not behave at that time, but somehow my emotion, took me to that level, and I made decisions, and I want to practice them, but I could not able to. I'm doing again and again. So you have to improvise.
Okay, thank you, sir. And in the context of education, how can emotional intelligence be integrated into the curriculum to foster a more emotionally supportive learning environment?
I think it's a very interesting question to discuss because, as I said, in today's education, you know, um, not highly given importance towards these topics. At least I can say in recent times it is far better. But in schools we never heard about these terms, and in colleges also. You've taken a engineering course. I don't know how many people might have heard this kind of topics, but in general it is very common in today's world. But do we have the syllabus? Do we have a curriculum that emphasize? It's very very important. It's not only the business school has to teach this emotional intelligence. I can say it is important at any level. So this curriculum, I can say it has been developed, and it is start coming. But I can say it has to be furthermore extended in all set of subjects, different degrees, so that people really understand its necessity. Because we can't leave this, right? Because it's part of our life, because something which we are going to engage throughout our life. So that we need to learn this, so that if the curriculum is there to enhance the skills to the students community. If there are, I can say there are many Coursera, there are courses in the Coursera. You can find, I can say that some of the institutions, very reputed institutions in this country, are offering the courses name called Happiness at Work, and how to find happiness at the workplace. Likewise, there are related to that. There are many courses out there. Even I can say in PTL you can find. I hope it would be there. So there are curriculums, but I feel it is not sufficient. It has to be improvised so that everyone get benefited out of this.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does emotional intelligence change over time?
Most, yes, definitely. I think I understand the question right. You're asking like it would be, for example, at the age of 10, at the age of 20, is it improvising? That's what is the question, right? I'm asking the question. Is it right?
Yeah.
That's how I'm
Yes,
understanding the question.
yes,
So
correct, sir.
over the years, definitely. That's how the human maturity we are saying. Like at the age of 25, how you're handling the situation, it differs from the age of 40 or 50. Because that time you have an experience, that time you have a knowledge, you might have a skill, and all put together. The time the way you respond in different way. Likewise, this skill, it can be, but and again, just because your age is increasing does not mean that you can be master. Unless you are putting your effort, it won't work. But at the same time, definitely it has ladder that you can match up.
Okay. And how can you tell if you have high emotional intelligence? How can you tell if you have high emotional intelligence?
I think we don't need to say why we need to say it. It is just it will reflect in our behavior. It will, people can understand it very well, right? That's what sometimes we find. Let's say some people are exceptional, right? How we are finding, they never claim themselves they are great in it, but through their behavior, through their action, we can literally understand. Likewise, this is the thing which everyone can witness. So we don't need to claim ourselves that I'm good in in this way. It is just reflecting with their work.
Yeah, okay, sir. This is the final question. How does emotional intelligence relate to resilience, and how can individuals develop emotional resilience to cope with challenges and setbacks?
Can you repeat one more?
Yeah. How does emotional intelligence relate to resilience, and how can individuals develop emotional resilience to cope with challenges and setbacks?
Setbacks, yes. See, in today's world, not only in today's environment, anytime, irrespective of any profession, it is not a cakewalk, right? It is not, if you enter into the field, you can be there for 2, 3 years, you can be a master. No, many people are there, many people are finding a job. Sometimes professionally they put you stop. Sometimes people do political and they make you to make you to be in trouble, or they'll create hurdles in their life, in your life, and all sort of things we have to go through, right? Then only we can achieve something. For that, if you are good in this emotion, that resilience will come to overcome the challenges. And definitely it will, you might have seen the videos of the athletes. So sometimes they fell down immediately, and after sometimes they just come back to the full energy. For that, you should have a positive thoughts, and for that you should have that positive attitude. So if you are good in this, definitely there is a possibility you can build upon this resilience, and that will help definitely to overcome the all your setbacks and obstacles.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the answers. The answers are very useful. I hope the answers and that the participants can understand about that. So finally, so ladies and gentlemen, and behalf of entire audience, and stand here to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. B. Arul Senthil for gracing us with his presence and sharing his immense knowledge and expertise in today's session on why emotional intelligence matters. Dr. Arul, your insightful and thought provoking presentation has left us all with a deeper understanding of the significance of emotional intelligence in our lives. Your vast experience and academic background in the field of business administration have added a unique perspective to the discussion, enriching our learning experience. Your dedication to academia, evident through your extensive research work and contributions to the academic community, serves as an inspiration to all aspiring scholars and professionals present here today. Your involvement in administrative roles further highlights your commitment to nurturing and supporting to the growth of others in the academic realm. Once again, thank you, Dr. B. Arul Senthil, for your valuable contributions and for being an exceptional speaker. We hope to have the privilege of learning from you again in the future. Thank you, everyone, for your active participation and engagement in this session. Let's carry forward the session learned today to build a more emotionally intelligent and computational world. So, thank you all and have a wonderful day again. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for this opportunity. I especially thank you for coordinating this and your team to make this possible. I hope I have shared, some of my insight towards emotional intelligence. Please practicing it so that you can learn a lot. There are books are available. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.